I'm a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, well, let's look.
The Australian authorities busted down Luke's door. No, here he is. Go ahead, Luke, and then I want to move on. So go ahead.
Yeah. And they're messing also with the space, Albert. When I'm as a speaker, your voice is like I can barely hear you.
Well, what else is this?
It to you by a DM. Okay, it's
okay. Thank you.
t.me/deep state pedo hunters, hunting like hunters plural. Okay, deep state pedo hunters. There you go. And you
Luke, why were you so cagey when I was like, weren't you the pedo hunter in the Discord 5 years ago? I don't get it. I know it was you.
Yeah, it was me. It was me. I've actually when Holly started trolling me and giving me shit, I doxed her. When Dan Walker started making false pedo allegations against me, I got pissed and I fucking doxed the cunt. Okay? As you do.
You don't have to dox me because I'm public.
I don't. You haven't pissed me off. You're doing everything right, bro.
It doesn't matter anyway because this is my face. This is my real name. I've already been doxed by the Gay Brigade fucking 6 years ago. They've already come after me in terms of trying to get me fired from my place of employment and speak to the manager and all the other nonsense. All this wonderful shit that happens to you if you dare tell the truth, right?
Claude Siegel in the space the other night was saying like he was hanging out and see space. My Arab friends told me to go raid a space, right? And Claude Siegel ended up going in there because I think I tagged him the day before or something. And he was actually a regular there. And I told the story about him working with the ADL to go hardcore pro pedo and take down one of the biggest. And like, I don't go individual pedos unless they're government protected. Okay, that's my criteria. I don't want to go near the filth on the internet. There's people who are being paid a lot of money to do that and get a lot of counselling and all that shit. Okay, I go after government protected pedos when the government doesn't do their job and drop the ball. Like Terry Bean, Nancy Pelosi's dance partner. Right, all the J6s, they all need to see videos of Nancy Pelosi dancing with a Democrat-protected pedophile who was charged with child rape, got off because the lawyer paid the child abuse victim off to not go to court, which is called witness tampering. And then the gays go, yay, he's exonerated. And also the other thing with Terry Bean's case is he made the most...
Hold on a second. There's legitimate ways to go after these guys. And the gay community has some responsibility to bear here because they glamorize pedophilia. Like most of them don't even see it as a negative bad thing. And I won't fall into the trap and say all because it's not all. There's a lot of gays that are against it.
Brother. They are. Here's how you make Christians hate gays. Okay. Do you know why?
I'm not interested in making anybody hate anybody. Okay. Hating evil is what I'm interested in.
If you don't hate gays, sir, you cuckold your children.
Listen,
would you like me to explain that?
It happens. There's people that are fucking gay, bro. You're not going to change that. But I'm not against.
You are okay. Would you like me to share an article my dad shared from scientificamerican.com and the Jumbotron?
Look, my point is this. There's been gays since the fucking dawn of time. But the child rape and the pedophilia is
that's Jewish propaganda. Ancient Greeks called gays broad asses in their local language, okay? They banned them from sacrifices, banned them from government, okay? So the first democracy said, gays, get the fuck out. Ancient Greeks.
Well, the Mycenaean ancient Greeks in the tale of Homer said that they had male lovers, and the Spartans had they were attended by their fucking stewards or their whatever, that they were child lovers, right? I know what you're saying.
Athens had laws against it, okay, and they found the laws, the tablets, everything, okay.
I'm
laws against it.
watching a Netflix documentary right now on Alexander.
Oh my God! Do you know who runs?
Did you see that? The very first like scene is like Alexander making out with a Fascian in the river, and I know
you watch Netflix. Shame on you. Shame on you.
They want to promote the shit out of it, and they want.
Can you do me a favor?
But
can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you search Netflix for a documentary called Witch Hunt on the DA that tried to fuck me up in Bakersfield with a gay pedophile cop? But the DA's name is Ed Jagels. He was framing up innocent people with SRA, and he was in the Lords of Bakersfield pedophile ring himself.
And
that documentary used to be on Netflix.
Lucas shared with me. He sent me some shit where it's like a Jewish it's a Jewish psyop to normalize homosexuality and pedophilia, because they put it like, oh, all these great men like Alexander, one of the greatest men in human history, was bisexual, and Achilles and all these other things, what was it? He had supposedly had an affair with his cousin Patroclus and all this other shit, right? Like it's a Jewish psyop to normalize homosexuality. Is it possible that that they're kind of exaggerating things? Yes, but listen, it happens. They're gay animals, bro. A certain percentage of folks are just gonna like the beans and Frank. That's what you just got. You know what I'm saying? Or no? You don't concede that. You don't concede that, Jake?
No, I believe that as little as 10 years ago, okay, this US CDC said on the Washington Post, said that 1.4% of America were gay and 1% of America were sodomites. Now, if the gays were expelled or done away with at that time, we would have stopped 40% of all the child sexual abuse on this earth.
Yes. Yes. Listen, that's where I make the clear delineation. Okay. Now,
let me explain.
Let me give you an example. Hold on a second. Let me give you an example. My ex-girlfriend, when I was on radio in Rochester, right. I quit school, quit college to take a radio job, sports talk show host. So I was doing that. Her nephew was 4 years old. Okay, 4 years old, and we're at a barbecue, and they're like, "Hey, sing us a song," and he started like belting out like this tune, right? And being really flamboyant, and he didn't know anything about sexuality. He didn't know anything about anything. His parents were very conservative Christians. I went to my girlfriend and I was like, "Yo, Vinny's gay. This kid is good. I guarantee you, he's going to grow up. He's gay." It happens, bro. It happens.
Wait, so did it turn out to be gay or what?
Gay AF. Turned out to be gay AF.
I mean, all small kids kind of act a little, fruity, and you're not gonna see a 5-year-old who's like acting super masculine and shit,
Dude, when I was 4 years old, I wasn't belting out Broadway show tunes.
All right.
Go ahead, Luke. Luke, are you done? Or I can't hear you.
No. I've just shared a video, which is a promo for a book called Homosexuality in Ancient Greece. The Myth is Collapsing, where an ancient history professor doxes all the gay Jews who made the myth about homosexuality being prevalent in ancient Greece, and just wrote a whole book debunking all that shit. And now we're just because one friggin' Greek, right, had a gay porn pot collection, okay, doesn't mean that it was tolerated by society, okay, because there's only found 2 or 3 pots, but which the gays put everywhere of the homoerotic pots, okay. Doesn't mean, so there's always been a very small number of gays.
Well,
I'm going to share an article from a gay anthropologist on scientificamerican.com. I'm going to share his blog article, and I'm going to unpack it for everyone here, and it's going to be very powerful.
Listen, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that they've exaggerated it, and we can see it in terms of the culture wars and in terms of the messaging and the narratives that come out of Hollywood, how it's celebrated, right? It's celebrated, and the parades where where it's like a fucking live sex show, and they have like these assless leather chaps and these fucking hairy, smelly dudes with
guys, I want to tell you something.
With little kids hanging on their on their heads, riding them like horses and shit. It's fucking bizarre.
Guys, listen, I don't care about that. I want to tell you something important.
They got the balls flapping, and it's like a live sex show, and I'm against.
Yeah, I know it's disgusting. They're all disgusting. Okay, but there's a very important reason they can't go near kids. Now, if you look in the jumbotron, very shortly there'll be a tweet coming from my dad. Okay. Now, this is a link to a Scientific American article, and it makes 2 very strong claims, I'll say in scientific lingo first, then I'll unpack it in layman's terms. Okay? First of all, the claim from this gay person is that homophobia is evolutionary. The other claim is human sexuality is malleable in adolescence. Okay, so that the last one means nurture, not nature. Okay? Now, 1 in 5 children now identify as sodomized. 1 in 5 children say, I want to be butt fucked, which according to surveys. And I used to wish that I love to make the argument that pedophilia is more common amongst gays. So I'm biased to want to believe that's a lower number. When I heard people saying it's a New World Order agenda to do depopulation and control, reduce our birth rate so low that our society will be destroyed and there'll be no whites left on this earth, I laughed at them at first. But it's true.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole, I think it's just, okay. My feeling is this. They're promoting it. They're celebrating it. They want more gays. It's part of a depopulation thing because they want to promote all unions, which
I haven't unpacked
which cannot
the other point
in procreation, right? So
can I unpack the second point?
Yeah, and then we're going to wrap it up. Go ahead, Luke.
Okay, then wrap it up. So homophobia is evolutionary. Okay, in centuries gone past, if you were not a homophobe, okay, you would allow gays to go near your kids and modify their sexuality through grooming. And as you know, gays can't procreate. So your genes will not be passed on to your grandchildren. You have failed in the game of life because you weren't homophobic. You don't have any grandchildren. You exited the gene pool because you're homophobic. You won a fucking Darwin Award. Not being homophobic is death. If you want to cuck your kid, not being homophobic is cucking your kids and the death of your line. I don't know. I don't have a death wish. But if you are not homophobic, you're a child cuck. That's what the article proves. I've DM'd it to you. I can't seem to add anything to the jumbotron.
Have you ever had a gay friend, Luke?
The closest I had to a gay friend was my first ever interview on FM radio with Stephen Pickels. And he only did the interview because he hated another gay, Gary Burns, who was suing my friend and my father for it was before he sued my father. I was fucking with Gary Burns, And then to fuck with me, he sued my dad because it's mafia tactics. It's Jewish mafia tactics to go, and Gary Burns is a Jew, by the way. It's Jewish mafia tactics to attack people's family to get at someone you don't like. So the dirty Jew did dirty Jew mafia tactics and sued my dad for disrespecting a homosexual who was convicted of raping a baby and sharing a video that predicted the pedophile in my pinned tweet was a pedophile before the Queensland police charged him with child rape. That shows you hate speech laws used by the ADL and Jews and gays have been used in the real world to provide cover for an active pedophile ring, the Queensland AIDS Council taxpayer-funded pedophile ring. It's almost disgusting as LGBT Youth Scotland that was founded by a baby rapist, James Rennie. And the guy who ran the inquiry into the gays raping children in the Scottish football teams, that was his child protection officer. Anyway, right now, the police are still partnered with this organisation that still pay a pension to a baby rapist. LGBT Youth Scotland goes into schools, and the police say the actions of James Rennie and his mates raping babies and producing child porn has nothing to do with the charity, because the taxpayer-funded computer in LGBT Youth Scotland distributing child porn that's owned by the charity and paid for with your tax dollars to distribute the child porn has nothing to do with the charity, because if a charity has a computer in their office, that computer has nothing to do with the charity. Did you know?
Luke, can I ask you something? Why do you use terms like homophobic? Because those are Jewish terms. Phobia
implies an irrational fear. But
exactly.
homophobia,
so why would you even use that term? Nobody's actually
that's the same term that the faggot used in Scientific American. But the point is,
dude, you keep doing that. Come on, Luke. Listen, man. I agree with what you're doing, except I don't. Obviously, we're not 100% sync because
if you want to see the article.
Hold on a second. You got to let me finish, or else it's not going to work, right? I'm with you on fighting the pedophilia. I'm with you on fighting Jewish supremacy. I'm with you on 9 out of 10 things, but you really do yourself a disservice. Do you believe in freedom? Do you believe in liberty for people, individual human rights?
I believe that all good parents should protect their young from pedo scum. And you're playing a very dangerous game if you're tolerant of gays near children. You're risking your legacy.
Okay, so Luke, what about the straight pedos? You should be against all pedos.
Yeah, and I've exposed straight pedos too. I can tell you a story.
Our whole White House, our whole Washington D.C. is apparently full of pedos.
Look, basically, homosexuals have a mental disorder.
I don't understand the link to the homosexuals, because when I listened to the FBI,
do you know who invented the word?
Look, like, you have to let other people speak too. And I like what you're saying.
He's not good at that. He's not good at that.
Yeah. It's like you have a lot of information, but like it's impossible for us to just sit through a 1 hour monologue.
Don't say homosexual. Say sodomite.
Let's have a conversation. So, okay.
Do you know who invented?
Jesus.
Luke, let her finish.
Luke, just let her finish, brother. We got you.
Yeah, okay, so what I wanted to say is that it's actually been shown, and I was listening to FBI being interviewed, and they said one of the biggest issues for them is the amount of pedophilia that they have to track down online, and in fact that they could man like thousands and thousands of people and they'd never be able to get enough of them. And most of them are not gays. Most of them are just straight guys who are going after little kids. So... And then we got the Epstein thing, and it turns out like, oh, everybody's a fucking pedo. So you can't convince me that this just has... First of all, I don't even like the gays, but it's like, that isn't just about the gays, right? Let's have those two conversations.
Okay, let me say this. Half of the pedophilia problem, almost, about 40%, 37%, according to the Bravehearts Australian charity started by Hetty Johnston, Child Abuse Fact Sheet. Half the victims of pedophilia are male. or about 37%, okay, to be fair. Now, 1% of the population does all that child abuse. And another thing I need to say is if you want to see the Scientific American thing, go to GAMKE on Twitter, okay, my dad. Then do a search on his profile for scientificamerican.com. You'll find the article. Okay, so what I'm saying is true. Now, another thing you need to know is who had the biggest problem with teen pregnancies? Have a guess, guys. Have a guess.
Okay, what percentage of all these males are actually gay? These pedophilic males that you're talking about, what percentage are gay? Luke?
Thanks to gay adoption, okay, I would say all the little girl lovers, okay, who you can't, it's very hard to abuse children when you're around a woman because pedophilia in women is much less common. 9 out of 10 pedophiles are men. So most pedophiles who are little girl lovers role play being gay dads. And thanks to gay adoption, they don't have to steal a kid they want to abuse, like and be a karate teacher, a policeman, a school teacher, a doctor, a nurse, all that kind of stuff. No, they just buy them from, New Life IVF, which the Jewish IDF loves to traffic babies for. Just do a search for New Life IVF Nepal IDF. Okay, and that's how I was able to confirm that Dr. Gary Lindenthal was Australia's Mossad, top advisor, because he was writing law papers supporting the Chinese claim of the South China Sea, at the same time as working with the Australian government as their top advisor. And I'm going, this is strange. This guy's clearly an enemy of Australia. He's supporting Chinese expansionist territorial claims. And he's like closely connected to the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. He's a 33-degree Mason and an Orthodox rabbi as well. And he's writing papers saying it's okay to kill all the Palestinians, women and children and foreign aid workers because they're human shields and legitimate targets of war. And the principle of distinction doesn't apply. And he published his paper on the 3rd of October last year. Holy shit.
I don't feel like you answered any of my questions. So
okay, your question was, okay, I say to you this, do not say the word homosexual. The word homosexual was invented by a German gay.
Yeah, I don't care. Listen.
Let me finish.
You always overfeed with info, and then it's impossible to understand what you're trying to say. So all I ask
you're talking over you.
Hold on.
You go behind my back and attack me all the time. I know.
No, I don't. I'm the one who said try and get people to actually host this topic for you because I really think it's important. So first of all, you're saying 9 out of 10 pedophiles are males. I'm asking, out of that 9 out of 10, 90% or whatever, that population, how many are gays? That's what I asked.
If you type PubMed, homosexuality, pedophilia into Google, you'll be directed to the same medical paper that my dad paid $300 for because he was sued of the crime of linking to it in Australia, okay, when he'd shared his posts on causes.com, whilst using the internet in Vietnam outside Australian jurisdiction, but they said no, Australia rules Vietnam. All Vietnamese internet users must respect pedophiles. Anyway, this paper, okay, written by Kay Frood, okay, it says that 1 in 10 of the pedophiles are gay, but gay pedophiles are more prolific and they do 4 times the amount of child abuse than a heterosexual pedophile,
I heard 27 times more likely to rape a child than straight. That's
every gay person. If you're an insurance company, right? Okay, I'm shocked about this. Okay, I have to pay higher insurance premiums because, I'm a smoker, right? But they make laws. Every school that has a public liability insurance, they should be paying 20 times more insurance for every gay teacher. The insurance companies could work out the correct actualities if there wasn't anti-homosexual discrimination law.
Okay, so see,
I
that was a
think
great
cock smokers need to be
conversation.
discriminated against.
So essentially, it is more concerning if you're dealing with a gay male around children, is what you're trying to say.
They come with the same amount of risk as 30 heterosexuals or 20 or 30 heterosexuals, yes.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
Yeah. It's 1.1% of the population diddles about almost 40% of the kids. You can do the math. The other 60% of the other 98% of the population diddles the other 60%.
Luke, I get it. I'm with you. There is legitimate beefs and complaints and gripes that we have with the gay community, with homosexuals. Okay, they're not. They kind of laugh off pedophilia. It's almost like a notch in their belt. The whole twink fascination. They don't take it seriously. They're not on the same page as the heterosexual world, and that's a fucking problem, and that's a big problem. Okay, but when you have like this whole anti-gay stuff, like I'm not celebrating it. I'm not promoting it, but at the same time, they got a right to fucking live their lives. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we can discriminate against any minority or any group, right? It has to be cleaned up, and they have to, and it doesn't help when our kosher masters are using this to socially engineer our societies to make it more susceptible and more malleable for their control, right? And to serve certain agendas. So there is a bigger picture here, but you lose people when you come from like this, more of a discriminatory, hateful kind of angle.
Yeah, and actually that's a tool of the Jews. It shuts down conversation, right? So the moment they hear you saying things like gay, pedophiles, everybody just shuts off their minds. They go, okay, that guy's hateful. When you really are trying to like raise alarms on maybe some really serious things.
And he is, and he's doing very important work. So I want him to have as much credibility as possible instead of diminishing himself. That's
he's kind of undermining his own work.
Oh, come on, ad hominem personal attacks. What factoid have I dropped which is false, people?
Bro, it's not ad hominem. I want to listen. I support what you do. I'm fine with featuring you for the last almost 2 hours. I'm trying to give you constructive criticism that you're interpreting as ad hominem.
Look, here's the thing. I just want to get my research out there so other people can put the spin on it and make it their own, okay? I just want to do some damage since I had these bastards do damage to me IRL, okay? That's my motivation. I want to cause pain and suffering for the gay lobby and the Jew lobby because they're causing a shitload of pain and suffering in Palestine right now, the Jew lobby, and because I have a Cassandra complex because I know a lot of shit that you guys should know but don't know.
Yes, but sir.
And if you don't want to learn this shit, the only way to save America, and if all the American normies can't learn this shit,
Luke,
the only way to save America is white Sharia now.
I hear you. Go ahead, Aryan.
Yeah, I understand all that, and you seem to have a lot of information, but it doesn't help you to be rude and impolite towards the people or helping you spread the message. You need to work a little bit on your etiquette, is all we're saying.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, I'll try and have more etiquette. Then I'll go into PC debating mode now.
Look, if I'm assuming you believe in liberty and personal freedom, right? You gotta be able to say to yourself, you know what?
Not if the freedom harms others, and I've made the argument giving gays freedom
the population.
harms you.
He's trying to say if the gays are harming the population, Bert. If the gays are harming the population, if my son turns out to be gay, who's to blame now? So I guess Well, I'm sure that's what he's trying to reach.
How do you know your son? How do you know your son wasn't, predisposed to being gay?
Well, who put out the
I can
agenda
answer that question for him.
of the
Can I
gays and
take over and
homosexuals?
help you, buddy? I can take the question. Okay?
Help me help you, man. Help me help you. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, can I help you first, and then I'll shut up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Help me.
Okay, help you. Okay. Well, the argument you made is called the born gay myth. Okay. Now, there's a gay Jew. His name's James Cantor, PhD. He went on the official CNN YouTube channel with Don Lemon, and Don Lemon did a great showing. He said, I feel sorry for Jerry Sandusky, who raped all those little boys at Penn State University, okay? That's what Don Lemon said on camera. Even Huffington News called him out. But he was online on the TV with a gay Jew, a person who identifies as a proud gay Jew, and his name's James Cantor, and he invented the term minor attracted person. And his area of study is he claims babies are born child rapists. So if you believe babies can be born gay, you can believe gay babies are born child rapists. Do you believe in James Cantor's theory, the guy who who invented the term minor attracted pedophiles? Minor attracted people, whatever the hell they call themselves, so MAPS. So if you believe children are born gay, then children can be born pedophile too.
I just told you a personal story of my ex-girlfriend's nephew, who I identified as gay as fuck at 4 years old. Now,
and my cousin in Vietnam has got the same vibe, gay as fuck, but he's not gay. Do you understand? It doesn't have to be that way. My point is simple, bro. I believe in personal freedom, and I understand, like, in the immortal words of Fat Joe, niggas is gay. There's going to be a segment of the population that likes the beans and Frank. Now, what do? I on an island. I put make them go through the CERN portal. What do? You got to live with these people. Okay. Now it's our job to obviously protect our children, and there is a degradation and a coarseness and a corrosive element that's highlighted by Jewry. They use this as leverage in their fucking agendas. We can understand that without hating anybody and still having a live and let live attitude, right? That's the point. There's a guy in here trying to call in the Twitter official safety account because I'm being pedophobic. A yay 24 groiper faggot. He probably worships Milo Yiannopoulos, who I've called in child porn trading groups on Telegram. Let's bring him up.
The point I'm trying to make is they can report whatever. That doesn't concern me. My concern is that you're doing important work, and when you have like this kind of vitriol, and listen, I get it. I understand that you're about saving the children and protecting children, and ending circumcision and all these horrible things, right? And it's important, and I want you to succeed, brother. Okay, I want you to succeed, and I'm just trying to tell you that this is the Achilles heel in your presentation. Now you can do with that as you will.
Well, I stand by my well thought out views that it's called the precautionary principle. Okay, you don't like your kids planking, right, and doing crazy shit on Instagram, doing or train surfing or planking or whatever. Okay, homosexuality lifestyle is a death cult. Okay, they all want to give each other AIDS and then live off big pharma retro virus drugs to stay alive. Okay, they're a burden to society and a parasite. And I believe that if you want to be gay, you should pay for your own. You shouldn't burden everyone else's insurance, keeping you alive. You should pay for your own AIDS, retrovirus, and PEP, and all the other things that they get. Okay, because it's not sustainable.
Luke, so sorry. what I wanted to say is I really think you have an important message too, but I just find that you take the 3 topics and you mix them together simultaneously to new.
No, I had gay Jews. I had gay Jews suing my family. They're gays and Jews.
But you mix them all 3 to new audiences, and then you share a lot of details. Like, for example, you'll say, "Oh, do you know this person in Australia who wrote this paper at this time?" I just feel like.
No, he's not a person. He's the person. He's the kingpin of the gay lobby.
I'm literally just
he's the greatest gay in Australia, the best they've got.
Rude again.
Okay,
the guy who wrote the book on gay marriage for Australian marriage equality.
Second. So whenever you talk, it's really hard for people to follow your train of thought because you don't just tell us what you're trying to say. You go into a lot of minute details, and then you mix like the issue of the pedophiles, the issue of the gays, and the issue of the Jews all in one. And I understand they're all interconnected.
Well, I'm a refugee because of gay police. Okay, founded by Jewish pedophiles.
Yeah.
Okay, the special gay in Australia. So that's my story. It's the truth.
Okay, but it would be easier for people to understand what you're saying if you could just talk about the pedophile issue first, and then talk about the Jew, how it's connected to the Jews, and then talk about how it's connected to the gays. But when you intermix them all 3, people just tune out. That's all I was trying to say. And then
I'm pretty sure that people are smart enough to fact check what I'm saying, considering I can't add any more to the jumbotron.
I'm not saying that you're telling lies.
For the first half of this broadcast, I proved every claim I made consistently in the jumbotron.
Okay, Luke, I'm saying everything you're saying is truthful. It's just difficult to follow it.
Yeah, she's making sense, Luke.
Oh God, we have the Cooker Watchers in here now trying to shut us down. Cooker Watch reported my account for 2 things recently. One, I criticized the Ordo Templi Orientis, the founder of gay rights in America, through Harry Hay. And, linked to the Guardian newspaper, a tweet I did with the Guardian newspaper called it a satanic sex cult. And so this Cooker Watch in the bottom of the space here, he says the Guardian newspaper is homophobic because you can't call the world's first gay rights organization a satanic sex cult, just like the Guardian newspaper. And he also recently reported, if you see my timeline, the hashtag Dickwings, where gay activists were drawing dildos on the side of buildings in Australia, with so the kids could do a photo shoot next to the 6-year-old boy height angel wings, and the feathers were made out of rainbow-coloured dildos. So, it was deemed homophobic to say he was reporting on my post for hate speech because he's saying that pedophiles are a protected minority group and you can't threaten to kill all pedophiles because pedophiles need to live and rape children. So that's Cooker Watch in here, the child rape lover, and he's probably restreaming us on Twitch right now because I'm flavour of the month. And the Cooker Watch, the Cooker Watch account attacked me.
Guys. Okay. Well, who is this guy? Why don't you request the mic and make your beefs directly to Luke?
Cooker Watch,
to Luke here.
Cooker Watch is directly working with witnesses. Yeah, Cooker Watch. The Cooker Watch account is directly
make a request. Make a request and air out your
grievance. No, the gutless coward. He's a gutless coward. His name's Rod Swift. He's a Greens candidate who had the Twitter account RodCub, RODCUB, that was suspended for making child rape threats against my daughter. Even in pre-Elon Twitter, it was decided that the associates of Cooker Watch, that Cooker Watch talks to, Rod Swift, both the Cooker Watch account and the Stacey account, rumoured to be one of the Cooker Watchers, is in direct communication with Koguma Rod, also known as Rod Cub on Twitter, who lost his account for child rape threats. Rod Cub was on the child grooming site dogwomble.com. Dogwomble.com, if you put it into web.archive.org, tells little children to please, here's how you delete your browser history. here's how you install an IRC client and come to our private IRC server.
I just blocked him because he's not a man. If he can't honor my request.
Oh no! Don't. Let me start broadcasting to the son of a bitch. I don't know if you go to his Twitch account, he's probably rebroadcasting us. He's gone now. Good.
If you're just gonna report people and not let them know, then I'm gonna block you. That's all.
Yeah, his mates. So yeah, they've got you've got a Groyper in here who's probably linked to Milo Yiannopoulos. Milo Yiannopoulos was brought down by Breitbart and for child grooming. There's even a video meme that you can where I say it's not just Avi Yemeni or Ozraeli, whatever his account is, who are nonces in rebel media, and there's actually an Australian cover song of the Blondie song. The Blondie, the band from Australia, the Americans loved a lot. There's a Blondie cover which takes the piss out of Rebel News and Laura Southern. She was brought to Australia by the Executive Council of Jewry, and she's famous for saying it's okay to be white. Skills, mate.
That is, yeah, it is funny. They have quite a sense of irony. All right, guys. Anybody else want to crack it?
Luke, what's that slogan that you say every time?
Luke McKee.
Yeah.
Let's go with the visitors. You have anything to say, visitor?
Yeah, I would love to debate any cooker watcher to defend their cooker watch account being associated with Putin pedo.
Yeah. The reason I blocked that guy is because he would not step up and, confront you man to man.
Well, that's very interesting because Cooker Watch, what happened is there's this chick called Stacy that came on Guru using that same account, and Guru's got a big he's got a big following in Australia. Usually he has about 3,000 people in the room at once. And so, yeah, Cooker Watch came in using a girl's voice. But I know that in Twitter, in your account settings, you can delegate account to be shared by multiple users. And I'm pretty sure that Rod Swift is one of them. And before Cooker Watch in Australia, there was the old name for the website was called Z-Geek. And they were successfully sued for $43 million for defamation. They attacked me. Do you know how they attacked me? There's a website, right? Okay, called t.me/my name, Luke McKee. And it was made by a child porn spammer, Amnance, on Telegram. I don't know if anyone here who's used Telegram and been to various groups, you may have come across this troll. I gave information on the
slogan that you make, Luke. What's that old slogan that you make? The Shabab, the 313.
Oh yeah. From the river to the sea.
Okay.
Habad Lubavitch will lose its 501c3 because it has a Metzitza prepared child abuse doctrine.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, the head rabbi of the Great Sydney Synagogue.
Yeah, can you hear me, Al?
Guys, I can barely hear anything. I'm gonna go. I'll be back.
All right.
All right. You want to make someone co-host, Albert, just in case someone wants to speak?
Yeah, Al had to log out and log back in, see if it fixes the problem.
Okay. How many hours have you been online with
I think about 4 now. 4, maybe going on 5.
Impressive. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Al can keep these things going up to 10 hours sometimes. So,
God bless him. This is what we need. People like we need leaders.
No, absolutely.
Like Albert, like Luke. We need these leaders to listen to write down to. Whether you want to write it on a piece of pen and paper, whether you want to put it in your head. do something about it. Otherwise, they coming for the coming generation.
Yeah, and that's
when they come, they're not going to stop. Yeah, Arjun, go ahead.
Yeah, I went into a Jewish space and I shared all the Gabe Groisman links that's in the front of our card deck or Jumbotron or whatever you call it before as well. The biggest space that I saw from my followers or follow it or whatever it is before I came here was a big Jewish space. They weren't going to give me the mic, so I just raided their blue pill with the dirt on the top on Gabe Groisman saying all non-Jews are racist.
Get ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to if you guys follow me, I'm gonna go to a Muslim extremist space after this. You know,
I love the guy. I love the guy, man.
Oh mate, there's a guy there who just. Oh, I got muted. I invited the guy into my space because Fred Julian Assange, he talks just like the dictator, Sacha Baron Cohen, exactly the same.
He's the main guy, brother. He's the guy. He's the guy. We're coming to him now. We're coming.
Okay. So this space has died because the host isn't coming back. I'm going to go to his space and we're going to raise hell. Everyone's going to raise hell. He's a different kind of host. He's very hardcore.
He's Iraqi, man. These guys don't play. The guys from Iraq, man. They don't play.
Yeah. He's a legend. He's funny as hell. He's in England. Yeah, from Iraq. Let's go to Free Julian Assange's space. Okay, I'll see you there, people, if you want to go.
All right, I'm coming with you right now. Hold on.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit